This is the 2016 Nissan Titan XD. It's the Platinum Reserve. Just want to show you an outside picture of it. Very nice looking truck. Owned it for a year now. It's with the Cummins 5.0 liter diesel. Great engine so far. Today we're going to change the fuel filters. It's got two of them. One of them you can see here.
Here would be the one on the bottom of the vehicle. This is the housing.
So the Nissan Titan is equipped with two batteries, and you'll have to remove power from both batteries. I'm going to use a 10mm wrench to disconnect power. And so I've done that. Pretty straightforward. You want to disconnect the negative side of the battery. And now that I've done that, we can go ahead and start on the removal of the fuel housings and start the filter change. Okay, back in just a minute. Okay, here's the fuel filter housing. I'll need a 1 1/8 close-in socket, and we'll just turn that, break it loose like so. So I've loosened it, and so now I'll just turn it, and so you just pull that whole assembly out. I'm going to have to maybe shut off the camera. The fuel filter, I've taken it out, and you can really tell it really needs to be replaced. You just pull it out. It's a tension fit, and there's the filter right there. You can tell this one here is in great need of changing, and so you also have to replace the O-ring that you see here, and then you'll be good to reinstall it. You don't really want to do anything inside of that. Just want to clean anything you do. You want to do on the outside, just clean it. Then remove the O-ring, the old one, and then install the new one. And if you have a blade, it probably will work better. Or you can just pinch it together, pull it right out. Okay, so let me get the clean filter, put that aside of the end, and let you see what that looks like. Okay, and you just want to take just a shop cloth and clean up the outside of it, and go for the new O-ring. Now I grabbed some petroleum jelly, and any brand will really work, but just want to take a little petroleum jelly and rub it through your fingers and just kind of lubricate that O-ring all the way around, and then drop it into the housing or around the housing and get it down to the base of that lid. Just be a little patient with it and get it down there. You can see there it's in that crevice. Okay. And then you can just put the filter housing over that when you get up in the truck. Okay, so it's real simple from here. You just place the fuel filter in that and just seat it, and you can feel it snap into place. And I'm just going to press down, make sure it's down in there nice and seated. And then I'll go and I'll insert the lid over that and just turn it where I got some tension, and I'm going to stop right there and then tighten it so I don't forget I didn't do that yet. And you're just going to turn it till you feel it reach the bottom, and then once it does, you want to push just a little bit more, get a little torque on there, and make sure it's seated properly, and that's it. You've replaced the top fuel filter. So I'm underneath the truck now, and one cool thing about this Nissan is that you don't need to put it up on jack lifts or anything, because the truck is pretty high off the ground. Alright, so here's the housing again. I've removed the filter guard, the housing guard, and so now what I've got to do is disconnect the sensor, and this is real simple. It's got a little clip back here. You just push on it and you slide it right out, and then what I'm going to do now is release the fuel that is in the system itself and let that drip out. Okay, so we're back now, and what I'll do is close the relief valve, the water drain valve is what that is, and then shut that off, and then I'll come in with my 1 1/8 wrench again and break that housing loose here, and it will turn. So I just keep turning it. So once you got it where it's just hand tight, you can release that. And so I'll just remove that housing off, keep the collection underneath it, and you can begin to see that fuel will begin to come out the sides. And that's okay, just let it do its thing. Again, make sure I got that in the right place. Let it out, and that'll be it. It will have fuel in it. You'll dump it out, and got that out. Okay. Here we are. We removed the housing, and so now what we'll do is we'll remove the filter out of that housing. Okay, and so you might need to get a screwdriver and just go in these little crevices right there and lift the filter up. Like so. And then it should release that filter from the housing. And what I'm doing is I'm just going around the filter itself, and should come right out. And there's your other filter, and as you can tell, it is pretty dirty too, and in need of replacement. Okay. You will also have a O-ring on this one as well, and you'll have to remove the old O-ring from the housing as well. Okay. And so this filter here also has a set of installation instructions, and again, make sure you get the OEM filter for your truck. what you'll need to do is just also get a little bit of lubricating jelly, petroleum jelly, and just go around and coat that O-ring with a little bit of petroleum jelly, and then you'll sit this on the outside as well. They have a little groove where the O-ring is supposed to sit, and so you just get it down in that little groove right here. And I go around and just make sure it sits in there, and that's it. And then you'll install the clean filter, and the filter will obviously go with the solid part to the inside of the filter, and you have markers on the housing, and you'll just snap that into place, and now your housing is put back together, and now it's a matter of just getting it back in the truck.
Okay, so now we're just going to install the fuel filter housing back in the truck, and it will not turn necessarily without any friction, but just turn it by hand until you feel that O-ring sit. And once it sits in place, then again using your 1 1/8 socket, again turn that in place, and it should stop in the same location to line up with your pigtail. So if it doesn't do that, you've done something wrong, and you need to make sure it does line up, and that's it. So now we've installed the fuel housing, and so we'll install the pigtail and just press it until it clicks. You can hear it click. Once it locks into place, you're secure. Make sure your water valve is in the closed position. And so now all I got to do is install my guard, and I'll do that last, of course, and I'll install it by reinserting the 3 bolts that go with it. And so once we're done with that part, we're ready to move on to the power part. So just install those, and you'll need a number 12 millimeter ratchet style socket to reinstall this. That seems to work best. Okay, so all I need to do is tighten it, and then we'll move to the top. Okay. And so now we've connected the battery power back on, but we have not attempted to start the truck. And so now we're going to come over here and start the priming process. Now, when you do the priming process, you do not want to press on the brake pedal to start your engine. And if we're going to do a priming process on it, you want to press the starter button twice without pressing the brake pedal. And you can hear the prime pump kick on. We'll go down there and just listen to it. And here you can hear it. Do not attempt to start the vehicle while it's priming. And so this can go on for as long as 90 seconds. And we'll let it prime. Okay, so we primed it twice and cranked it up, started right up. Strongly recommend that you follow the warnings on the instrument panel. It was prompting me that the pressure in the fuel system was low. So I primed it twice. 90 seconds each is approximately the time. They're automatic, so you don't have to time them. The pump will stop at the end of about 90 seconds each time, and so I primed it twice. and the low pressure warning went away, and put my foot on the brake pedal after that and cranked it right up. It starts right up. And so I've got 2 new fuel filters, good for about another 10,000 miles, and keeping my Nissan Titan XD running smooth. You can see right there it's accelerating nicely, no issues. And hope you like the video. Hope you find it helpful. And it's my first one, so it could be a little rough. And hope you can get the gist of how to change out those fuel filters. I know it can be a little intimidating, especially if you're a novice operator like myself. I just like to save money, so I try and do a lot of things on my own when I can. And looks like this one's success, second time. And may post this video later. And hope you all find it useful. Okay, thanks a bunch for watching. Bye bye now.